Okay, what is one quick hack that you can do in 30 seconds to reveal top selling products on Etsy? Well, I call it the product review hack, and it's to take total product reviews and compare against total shop reviews to come up with one figure which tells a big story. Let's take a look. So it doesn't matter what your product niche is, what you're into, whether you're making jewelry, selling craft supplies, or personalized items. This trick will work for any niche. And the first thing is to go ahead and start taking a look at your competitors. So for instance, if you were making jewelry and you had a gift for making jewelry, then you could go in, start looking at what you can make and looking for products that can really hit the ground running. And this hack is a simple one, and it's real data. I do recommend software services like Everbee and Sales Samurai, but they are estimates, and this is one way to give us a real proper concrete figure. And so when you're doing your searches and you're finding a pretty good selling product, it's just simply come down and take a look at these figures here. That's reviews for the item and reviews for the shop, and to simply do a simple calculation here, which would be 28 reviews for this item, so 28 against reviews for the shop 470. So simply divide 28 by 470 and then multiply that by 100. That will give us the total percentage that this product is responsible for with regard to total reviews against from the item for total reviews against the shop. And in this situation, we can see that we've come up with nearly 6%. So almost 6% of this total shop's selling reviews for this store is made up from this product, and that's quite a high figure. Often you'll do these searches for ratio and you'll come up with figures like 0.4, 0.5, 1%, 2%, but sometimes they can go up to 6% and sometimes a lot more than that, up to 20, 30%. And so that's when you can see that you're onto a hot product, when the higher the percentage figure, the bigger the value, the greater importance that this product will have for this particular store. So check that little ratio out every time you're looking for products to potentially make or include in your own store. So that is one quick hack that you can start doing straight away to find top selling products on Etsy. But before you go, I want to reveal another really important hack, and it's to do with pricing and advertising. So if you're selling consumable items, or you're thinking about selling consumable items on Etsy, or downloadable guides, this is the same principle will apply for almost everything here. And it's the difference between the really successful sellers and the sellers who are kind of struggling. And I have always put in a budget for advertising, and I've recorded a 6 times return on ad spend for many of my products. And it's so important to get that visibility, to have that little bit in the bank for advertising. So my recommendation is always to price your products high and go in at the high end of the market. So if it's candles, for instance, it would be a luxury candle that you can price at like $20, $30 to give you a potentially $10, say, for instance, to go for advertising to see if you can scale on your paid ads. And if it's for on Etsy, for instance, a lot of sellers will say, a lot of coaches will say, you know, don't bother with Etsy ads. Now, for instance, the downloadable guides, I've seen people on downloadable guides, it's a big thing at the moment. Now, I've seen people who are pricing high and who are pricing low. And guess who's making the big money? It's the people who are pricing high, who are putting in a little bit in the bank for advertising and then blowing up their sales. And this is how. So if you do look at potential downloadable products, for instance, or if you're looking at candles, anything at all, if you're looking, for instance, at downloadable products like planners, all that kind of stuff which is coming out at the moment. Now, the people who are pricing high, like $20 or $30 for like wall art or downloadable planners. They're charging like $20 or $30 for it, but they've got an advertising budget running behind. That's why they're getting all of these sales. And I've seen these stores, they go from like $40, $50 in their first month, and then they jump up to like $7,000 in their second month. And it is down to their advertising, because they've got a little bit in the bank to instantly boost those sales numbers through their pricing. So absolutely 100%, when you're thinking about anything on Etsy, whatever your product is, then always try to think, okay, what can I put aside for an advertising budget? How can I come in higher in the market to allow for an advertising budget? I promise you, it makes all the difference. And for instance, like with the candles and things like that, a lot of sellers, they're pricing their candles high on Etsy, but they have an advertising budget, say for instance, running on Instagram ads. And always focus on one platform for your advertising, certainly initially. So if you're thinking about a social media platform, whether it be Facebook or Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or for Etsy ads, then just focus on one platform to begin with to do your test ads. Price your products high enough so that you can do your testing with your advertising to see if you can scale like all the big sellers are actually doing. That's the way. Avoid the low pricing. A lot of people think, oh, downloadable guides, right, let's price it really low to get lots of sales. The only way in which I would recommend doing that is to get reviews. If you're a fairly new store and you want to get lots of reviews really quickly, then okay, come up with a great free downloadable product, or a very low priced downloadable product to get those reviews in. But on the whole, if you want to scale like the big boys and girls, if you want to make those tens of thousands of dollars every month, then you have to come up with a quality products that are priced quite high, which will give you an advertising budget to allow for you to scale. It is the only way, I promise you. So bear that in mind, and that is my number 2 hack for today. Now, if you do want more hacks, I have a lot coming up in the next few months, so do subscribe to Craft Life Academy, and it will ensure that you hit the ground running and give you the latest ideas, tips and tricks from a 7-figure seller of crafts online across Etsy, Amazon and Shopify. So do subscribe to the channel. If you like these hacks, please hit the like button, and of course, if you have any comment, I'm looking out for comments. So if there's any questions that you have, do put them down below and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you are thinking about selling crafts online for the first time, or if you're an existing seller and just not getting the sales that you'd like, check out my 1-hour free training on the link below. I'll also put a link in the video. That's 1 hour of training, lots of tips, tricks, hacks, craft demonstrations, all in the 1-hour free training. So go ahead and check that out. There's also a link to join Craft Life Academy, which is a huge training area full of videos for your craft training, sales training. If you want to go ahead, watch the free training, and if you want to join Craft Life Academy, I'd love to see you on the inside. But that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.